Thanks for stopping by. Hopefully you can stick around for the show. On today's episode, we're going to do something a little bit differently. What I'll be doing is taking my Jeep and my mini trailer, and I'm heading up into the National Forest in the state lands of Michigan. I'll be doing some solo camping up there and looking for whitetail deer. The bow hunting season is drawing to a close and the firearm season is about to begin. I have both my bow and my rifle in the Jeep. The trailer is all packed up and ready to go. So let's head north and see what we can find. I have the mini camper set up. I'm good to go for the night. I'm just going to try to get out and get in a last hour hunt. That's all I have until dark, but maybe I'll at least get to scout things out a little bit. We'll see how I do. We'll give it a try. I'm just sneaking my way down this 2-track looking for a spot where maybe a deer trail crosses. I did see a few tracks in the mud, but I would like to find a deer trail and just sit tight for the last few minutes of daylight. Hunting hours are over. I saw a small deer walk by not too far away just as the light was fading. So I'm going to make my way back to camp and get something to eat, and hopefully I'll do better in the morning. One of the really nice things about camping like this is that when I'm all done hunting and I come back to camp, I can work on my videos. I can watch movies that I have downloaded on my tablet. Pretty much have all the comforts of home in here, comfortable bed. It's really nice sometimes to camp this way. I'm not complaining right now. I made my way down along the river, and the underbrush in here is pretty thick, a lot of thorns and thistles, and it's kind of hard to carry the crossbow and carry my camera gear through. So I think I'm actually going to make my way back up top, up by the big white pines that are up there. That's where I started. I am seeing some deer sign. I did see a scrape or two, but I've not seen a deer yet this morning. It might just be that the deer are hanging out in the oaks right now because there's a zillion acorns up there. Well, the overcast skies from this morning have cleared up and the sun is now very bright. It's blinding me as I make my way back up the hill. I've got a sunny sky to the south, but to the northwest, I have some real dark, gloomy skies heading this way. I'm going to get to camp, have some coffee and some breakfast, take a look at the weather, and see what's in store. But it doesn't look real good. I just heard what sounded like 3 or 4 deer crossing the river. I don't know if they're crossing to my side or if they're crossing from my side over. Figures, I was just down there. I'll put the drone up and see if I can see them. If not, it's beautiful countryside. It's gorgeous from the air. This appears to be a big pudding stone. The weather can't make up its mind. It started to rain, so I turned around to head back. Now it stopped. So, guess I'll keep hunting. There seems to be quite a few buck scrapes in here. This is like the third one I found. It appears I'm done hunting for the night. Looking to the northwest, I see a heavy wall of rain coming. Front just blew through here. Sky's darkening up, so I'm heading back to camp before I get soaked. This evening's a perfect example of why I ended up building a little mini camper like this. It's raining now pretty heavy. I'm in here, I'm dry. I can dry my cameras and everything off. I can plug them in, I can charge them. So it's pretty nice to have these luxuries out here. Because it keeps raining on and off, I haven't been able to do much in the way of hunting. So I'm mostly just scouting and running the camera right now. I'd like to actually hunt this evening. If the rain stops, that would be great. As I came down here on the edge of the lake, there were two bald eagles and they both spooked off, and I got them a little bit on camera. I think I got them as they're flying away. I was hoping they'd come back, so I've been kind of staying along the edge of the lake here. I did see some swans, and it was raining when I was videoing them. I'm not sure how clear it is, but they were way on the other side. I'm on the edge of this old beaver flooding, and it's really spongy to walk around in there. It's like, we kind of call them cranberry bogs. But it's like super plush carpet that's kind of wet. But anyway, I'm not sure what those little white fuzzy plants are, but they're pretty cool looking. Pretty cool looking area. On my way back to camp, I stopped by a small creek and met two old timers who were trapping beaver.
You gonna try to get it in that channel?
Yeah.
Come on, make up your mind. What?
Right here would be a good spot for it.
Are you scared? You got waders on, chest waders, like can't be deeper than that.
What do you get for a beaver pelt now these days?
$35.
That's it?
Yeah, better not to have somebody tan them and make something out of them than
Right.
worth more a lot.
Oh, that's
What's a beaver pelt worth? 35 bucks?
Yeah, $30 or so.
Oh my God.
On today's menu was some blackened venison steak over a bed of basmati rice with scallion and mushrooms, and it was spiced up a little bit with Frank's Red Hot, and then it was covered with a drizzle of sweet maple cream. Compliments to the chef. I'll have to eat here again. One of my favorite things about hunting this area are all the little creeks There's several ravines with little creeks that make their way down to the river, and they're all like just crystal clear, spring fed. It's beautiful in here. I was by this creek a couple weeks ago, and some steelhead and a few other fish were moving their way upstream, and there was a steelhead kept getting stuck behind the little waterfalls, so I stepped down into the creek and I helped them over a couple of them. I don't know if he appreciated it or not, but it was a lot of fun. These are autumn olives. It's an invasive species. They're very tasty. They make a great trail snack. You can make jam and stuff with them too. They're a little tart and sweet at the same time. Definitely good. I made it up into the oaks for the evening hunt. There are a ton of acorns up here. I'm hoping that I'll see a ton of deer feeding on acorns up here. We'll see how it goes. 3 does just came running from behind me and past me. They had their tails up. I wasn't able to get the camera turned on fast enough to get them. I watched for a while to see if a buck was following them. A few minutes later, I saw what looked like a mature 8-point coming through, but he was too far for a shot and moving too fast to try to follow. So it's still legal to hunt for a little bit longer, but I won't be able to get anything on camera. Well, another day in the hunting woods is done. I found out that I ran over something with my Jeep's tire, and so it has what appears to be a nail or something in it. Fortunately, I had a bike pump still in the vehicle from the last bike ride I went on. I've got it pumped up to 55 pounds. It's a slow leak. We'll see how low it is in the morning. I have my spare if I need to, but if I can pump it up to, get me home, that'll be great. Hopefully tomorrow morning I'll be able to find a buck, but for now I'm just going to say good night, and we'll see you in the morning. Well, it's already daylight in the swamp. I overslept this morning. I'm trying to get around fast so I can get out there and do a little bow hunting. I'll see you outside in a minute. I was walking down this spine and I just spooked 2 deer on the other side of the river. They snorted and took off. The bad thing about walking down a spine like this is that you really stand out against the sky as you're going down it. While I was watching those does, I heard a turkey gobble. That's weird. I don't usually hear them gobble this time of year. In all my years of hunting, I don't remember tom turkeys gobbling back and forth to each other this time of year. That got a little crazy for a moment. I was filming 2 pileated woodpeckers on the same tree. And while I was filming that, I heard footsteps like right behind me. And I had two does walking right behind me, like within 20 feet. One of them just kept walking, the other one paused for a minute. And then I think it saw me moving the camera on it, trying to move the camera onto it. The tripod was tangled in some ferns on the ground, holding it all crisscrossed and trying to keep it on that one doe. So we'll see how it turns out. It's about 10 in the morning and I really feel like a coffee, so I'm going to start making my way back to camp. It's been a pretty nice morning out here. I've enjoyed it. I think that's a buck. Oh, there's a few deer over there. They're coming this way. Here they come. That was close. That doe got about 10 meters from me. She was walking right in. Oh, I see more deer out there. When that deer finally snorted, it startled me. I don't know why. I knew it was coming. They were walking right straight at me. But just something about her actually doing it, I chunked. I saw these ones on the other side of that ravine that I just crossed, and they were running around. Maybe a buck was chasing them, but when they came down across the ravine, nothing followed them. It's just starting to sprinkle a little bit. It's about 10:30 in the morning, so I'm gonna head back to camp, make some coffee, and check the weather out. Make sure I'm not going to get rained on. So I checked out my tire. It has a pretty good sized nail in it. I mean, I can put my spare tire on, but I'd like to keep the spare just in case I get a real flat. But I'm going to pump it up to 45 pounds. At least maybe I can make it to civilization and then deal with it. I pumped it up to 50 psi, pulled the jack out from underneath it, battened down the hatches, and me and the little diesel Jeep are ready to go. So the rain has come in. Radar shows it's going to be raining the rest of the day, and I'm going to get this problem tire to civilization. Don't forget the camera. Well, it's time for me to call it a day, so I'll say good night, and we'll see you tomorrow. Around 3 o'clock in the morning, I woke up, heard this gnawing noise. It sounded like it was underneath the door of the trailer, and I threw open the door, and there was a pretty good sized porcupine. He turned his back on me when the door opened, but he's just sitting there. So I quick grabbed the camera and stuck it out the door with that little teeny light. You get moving. Get. craziest stuff happens out here. But I'm going back to sleep. See you in the morning. I'm glad it finally stopped raining because it is a beautiful morning and it is a great day to be in the woods. Now I just need to find a deer. There's a little creek way down in this ravine. I don't feel like climbing all the way down there, but you can see a spring where the boil's coming up out of the ground. I know this video might make some deer hunters cringe. They'll say that's not the way you're supposed to hunt deer. You need to be in a blind or you need to be in a tree stand. But this is the way that I've hunted. This is the way that my dad taught me to hunt. And it's always been a successful way of hunting for me, and it's the way I like to experience the woods. I see a lot of wildlife doing this, and I don't get bored. I cannot stand to sit in one spot. I do not like using tree stands. I definitely do not like using a blind. Hopefully I don't offend anybody by hunting this way, but it's the way I hunt. Carrots in, add a few more little chunks of wood, put in some basmati rice, almonds, sunflower nuts, and peanuts. Those are the pre-cooked kind of shrimp. And add 1 egg, a little bit of Frank's Red Hot. I made myself shrimp fried rice, all cooked on my little wood burning solo stove. It is delicious. I'm so full after that meal, it's going to be a little bit hard to hunt. That was a lot, but it was really, really good. The wind has finally died down enough for an evening hunt. Watchdogs of the woods have busted me. I accidentally tripped over a stick and got everybody's attention. I was hoping to hunt right there by the big oak trees because there are so many acorns on the ground. But after I broke that stick, the squirrels busted me and they did not want me there. So they finally won. I got out of there. As the last day of bow hunting drew to a close, I had wild turkeys above me in the trees and a small buck walking by just a few meters away. I've got some turkeys right above me, but I have to go up this trail. So I'm hoping I don't scare them, but I've got a feeling they're gonna fly. Oh, they saw me. There goes one. I don't know if they all flew, but I heard at least 3 or 4 of them go. What are you doing? What are you doing? Hey, 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 you. Hey, hey. Get out of here. You, get away from my trailer. Get. I just had to chase that porcupine out of here again. He was chewing on the bottom of my trailer. That thing is crazy. You quit chewing on my stuff. Get, right now, get. I see you. Don't you come back again. Don't come back again. That porcupine is relentless. He keeps chewing on my stuff. I don't understand it. Got up a little bit earlier today. Had a kind of a miserable night. That porcupine just kept coming back. I ended up having to get up about 4 times in the night and go chase him off. Didn't get the kind of sleep I was hoping to get, but it's time to get ready and go and make my stand for the start of firearm deer season here in Michigan. So anyway, we'll see you out there. I just saw 2 guys go by in a canoe. The guy with the gun was in the bow. I've seen that before on this river when I've been hunting up here. I was hoping they might scare a deer back in from the bank towards me, but nothing moved after they went by. I just heard what sounded like a machine gun on the other side. I hear voices. I don't know if they just hit a deer or what, but yeah, it sounded like a machine gun. It was automatic. Yeah, people are crazy. I'm getting tired of sitting. I'm just going to stay put a little bit longer and then I'm going to start still hunting. The temperature has gotten crazy warm out here. I shot a couple layers. Been making my way through some of the higher ground. It's starting to get really thick, though I don't know if I want to keep going. I definitely don't want to push a deer to somebody else. There was just a shot across the river. It was pretty close. It made me jump. I haven't seen any movement down there and I don't see a hunter. The winds have been pretty strong all afternoon. I haven't seen any movement. I saw a shooter about 5 minutes ago. He was moving right along the edge of the river. Just as I got my rifle up, he went behind some cedar boughs, and I have not been able to find him. I've looked all over for him. I even heard him grunting a few times as he was going through. I'll keep watching for him down there. Well, opening day is officially done, and there were good things and bad things about it. Of course, bad thing is I did not get a buck today. The good thing was that I did see a buck at 5 o'clock in the evening, and I didn't hear any shots after that. That gives me hope for tomorrow. We'll see what tomorrow brings. It's supposed to be a lot colder than it was today. So anyway, I'm beat. I'm just totally wiped out. I went from dawn to dusk hunting out there, and I just need to call it a night. We'll see you in the morning, and hopefully we'll have a good day. The porcupine is back. He's chewing on the underside of the trailer again. He drives me crazy. Hey, get moving. You get moving. Get, get, you get, 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 get. You get moving. What's that, another one? What's up with you guys, huh? What is up with you guys? Huh? You gotta leave my trailer alone. You tell that big one, leave my trailer alone. Get on out of here. Move it, move it. Stinking porcupine's crazy. He's trying to eat my trailer every night. Every night he does this. It's the second day of the firearm season, and it is cold and windy. I'm sitting in the same location I was last night when I saw that buck. And so far I have not seen a deer today. It's a little after 9:30 and I'm pretty cold and hungry. I'm going to scan the river's edge again with my binoculars, and if I don't see anything, I'm going to head on back to camp, get something to eat and warm up. Just back at the little camper, getting warmed up a little bit. I'm using the solo stove with an alcohol burner inside it, so I can cook inside. But oh my god, I got like chilled to the bone out there. It was bad. That wind just seemed to cut through all the layers of my clothes. Anyway, have a warm meal and head back out there. I have one more pre-made burrito that was wrapped in aluminum foil that I heated up. This will be my last one, so I'll have to really cook after this. It's warmed up a little bit, about 2 degrees Celsius, about 34-ish Fahrenheit, but the wind continues, so it's still chilly, and I have still not seen a deer today. It's been slow. The sun is out, but it's not doing much to warm up anything. I still feel cold, so I'm going for a walk to get warmed up. And this evening I'm planning on sitting where I saw that buck last night. Hopefully he'll go through around the same time. It was about 5 o'clock last night he went through. So planning on getting there about an hour before that and just sitting tight till dark. But for now I'm doing some exploring and just trying to keep warm. While I'm in my spot for the evening, the brisk winds continue. It's very cold. I still haven't seen a deer yet today. It's been a really slow day. Just hoping to see one. Hunting is still open for a few more minutes, but it's too dark for me to see antlers anymore. So I am giving it up. I went the whole day without seeing a deer. That's terrible. After the sunset last night, I didn't do any filming at all. I had had my fill of the porcupines. And my fill of that spot. I hunted from dawn to dusk, and I never saw a deer. Old deer trails that I've known about for my whole life are hardly being used in there anymore. I wasn't seeing a lot of deer sign, and so I just decided I had to try somewhere else. Anyway, I'm in a different area now, still kind of hilly, not quite as big as it is by the river there, but there's more oaks in here. There's a lot of acorns, a lot of white pine, some maple. So I don't know, I just had to try something different. Although the day started just below freezing, it is now getting quite warm. I have too many layers on. I'm heading back to camp to shed some layers, grab something to eat, and then I'm heading back out into the woods. Definitely nice to relax for a minute. I'm walking a 2-track on a ridge right now, and I am seeing a lot of deer tracks on it. I know there's deer in here, I just need to find them. Getting into a little bit of an upland marsh area. I've seen a few buck rubs in here. That's a pretty decent sized one right there. I'm sitting on a hillside and I can see the slope. It's fairly heavy cover. Down at the bottom is that upland marsh. And then just above me is a pretty heavy stand of young pines. So either one of them could be a bedding area. And then the hillside I'm on has a lot of oaks, a lot of acorns. So hoping I'll see deer either come out of the upper area or the lower area as it gets closer to dark. I just checked one of the trail cameras that I had set up on a deer trail, and I followed that trail this morning. Anyway, on my way out, I check it. It looked like a buck had just walked down it a little bit before I did. Then it also had a few other deer on it, both during the day and at night. It's all about timing, and I am not in the right place at the right time. I just found this buck rub about 3 meters behind where my trail cam is set up. And it's new. It wasn't there the other day. So there's been a decent buck through here. I'm going for a walk on some 2 tracks right now, see if I can find an area where the deer look more active. Yum, cold wild grapes. So I've walked a couple miles so far, and I still haven't seen anything. I've seen some tracks in the dirt, tracks in the mud. There's a lot of acorns. You see them all over the 2 tracks, but I haven't seen or heard any deer yet. Haven't jumped any. Just kind of odd. Well, at least I'm getting a lot of exercise. I just had one snort and run. I didn't get to see it. It's too heavy a cover. It just started snowing, but this is a really weird snow. It's acts like big fluffy flakes and then little hail balls. Well, the snow is starting to stick. Snow is starting to accumulate, and it makes it a little bit easier to see through the woods, but it makes it very noisy to walk. It's worse than the leaves were. I think I'm going to stop at camp. Some of those layers that I took off earlier, I'm going to put back on. It sounds like the winds have died down. The sun's even trying to come out right now. So I'm going to get out there for an afternoon hunt and see how we do. As you can see, I went ahead and switched camo. I'm wearing what I call snow camo. When I ordered it, I think they actually called it urban camo. It breaks up your silhouette really good. And I've had it be where I had deer really close to me and they didn't even see me there. I saw 4 does go through, kind of a long ways out. No buck with them, just 4 does. Still looking for the buck. I just saw 3 bucks walk through. They were way out and they went over the edge of the hill. I'm going to sneak up a little closer and see if I can see them again. There's fresh tracks right here. This is where they went through. I just saw 2 of the 3 and I was able to make a shot on what looked like the bigger one. Having an adrenaline dump going on right now, so I'm a little bit shaky. It was kind of a long shot in just a real narrow window. but it looked good. I've got blood on the ground. It ended up being the smaller buck, but I don't hunt for antlers, so the nice buck is still running. I've got a nice young buck here down, sneaking along just after the blizzard and the snow camo paid off. I could see just a little bit of the chest between the trees, and I could see antlers on the head, so I made the shot. I'll get it tagged and field dressed, and then I'll start dragging it out. It just seems like every deer I ever shoot runs to the bottom of a big hill, and I have to drag it up. So that's what I'm getting ready to do right now. So I'm going to shut the camera off and get busy. The hunt is not over. I still have a restricted tag, and so I'm going to be heading back out in the woods. That one's, for that one, I can only shoot a buck with at least 4 points on one side. So that's going to make it a little more challenging. This morning I decided to head up and hunt with my brother-in-law in an area that we hunt quite often together, and problem is I can't get into any of the areas where I used to camp. The trees are weighted down and they're crossing the 2-track. Trying to turn it around where these two tracks came together, so I could go back out, because there are just too many trees that are blocking. I already pushed my way through several. I mean, there's a blizzard coming in, and I'm going to end up being snowed in for the rest of the winter. I can't go any farther down the 2-track to where I wanted to go, and now I'm kind of stuck here turning around. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to detach the trailer, put some wheel chocks on it, get it loose from the Jeep, get the Jeep turned around, and then come in, and hopefully I can get the right angle to back into that hitch again so I can get hooked up and pull it out of here. So that's what I'm going to be doing for a little bit, which is not cool, because it's almost time to, it actually is time, I should be out for an evening hunt. So I'll try to get this resolved real fast and still get out there tonight. There's no room to back up at all, none. Zero room to back up. That wasn't fun. Unhooking the trailer paid off. I was able to get it spun around. So working my way out right now, and I'm not sure what I'm gonna do now. So I did not get camp set up here. Can't get down any of the 2 tracks. I'm taking a walk up one right now. Want to at least get an evening hunt in. I only have like an hour and a half left of the evening hunt, which isn't all bad. Last night's evening hunt was a short one, but it was productive. I can only shoot a buck now that has at least 4 points on one side. Out west they call them a 4x4. Here in Michigan they call them an 8-point. I have my work cut out for me for finding a buck of that caliber, and it doesn't help that I can't see down through the woods. It's very, very thick with the snow. I made it back in here to the rim along the river. It's a little more open in here. There's not as many small trees, but visibility still isn't that good. I can see across part of a clear cut, but I can look down over part of the river bottom also. It just gives me a couple options. So I'll make my final stand here for the night, and we'll see what we see. 2 deer right there. Slept in a little bit this morning. Didn't get a really early start. It's negative 13 Celsius, 10 degrees Fahrenheit. Strategy for this morning hunt is to just stay on top of the ridges and kind of zigzag from side to side, look off the right side, make my way to the left side, watch down there for a little bit. Just kind of purposeful wandering on top of these ridges, watching for deer on the opposing hillsides or in the valleys. Well, the sun is starting to show itself a little bit. Hopefully it'll warm things up. There's a deer bed up here on this ridge. It could be it was bedded here this morning. It has a little bit of snow on it. I was following what appeared to be a buck's tracks along the top of a ridge, and it either busted me or it went after some does, because all of a sudden its footprints changed from a walk to like a trot. It went through an area where there were 3 beds. All the deer's tracks are going the same way. So I'm going to keep following it a little bit more. Hopefully it didn't bust me, and hopefully I'll see it chasing some does. It's so cold out here that these trees creak and pop when the wind blows. Today is the last day of the firearm deer season, and my brother, he came up and he joined me today. So he's hunting the same way I am, but to the ridges south of me. I keep hoping to hear the report of his rifle. I don't know if I'd hear it or not with all the snow, but we do have a cell phone signal in here, and he can text me if he gets one. So I'm hoping he will. I'm hoping I will. We'll see. Okay, so I have to stop the video here for a quick timeout and explain what's going on. Suddenly I was face to face with a really nice buck that was chasing a doe, and I took the GoPro and stuck it into my pocket. A few minutes passed. I never got a shot at him. I pulled the GoPro back out of my pocket, and I thought that I explained what was going on, but I didn't. So anyway, in those moments of darkness in my pocket, I was face to face with a really nice buck and could not make a shot. And this next clip explains why. It's been about a half hour or so since I last saw that buck chasing does. I looked at where he was last standing compared to where I was standing, and he was only like 30 yards from me. But there was a young beech tree, and all of its leaves were right in front of me and my scope and everything. And so I could not get a clear shot on him. I couldn't even see him when I brought my gun up. But that's the way it goes, Murphy's Law. So I will keep my eye open for him. He is definitely a big boy, but I either see him or I don't. There's at least one deer bedded down on this opposite little ridge. I'm hiding behind a tree, trying to get a good look at just what it is and how many there are. It's just a young buck, a little button buck. I don't know if it even shows up on the GoPro. I'm trying to get close closer to this little buck. Eventually that little buck saw me trying to sneak up on him, and so he got out of there. When he took off, it almost looked like he was injured, like he had an injured front leg. And so I snuck around on top of the tallest hill that he was laying by, and I can see his bed just down here to my right. And when I got here up on top, I could see him down below. He was watching the direction that I had been coming from. So I was able to watch it for a little bit. There's nothing wrong with it. It must have just been the deep snow that made it look like it was limping so bad. But anyway, it was fine. Eventually it saw me up here, snorted, and took off. There's at least five deer, no antlers. Oh my gosh, there's about 8 of them. There's at least 8. I'm not seeing any. One is acting like a buck, but I think it's a button buck because I haven't seen any antlers. I wasn't sure if the hardwoods would be the right place to be today. It definitely was the right place to be. It just didn't work out yet. I have about a half mile still to walk to get out of here. So I'm just gonna keep my eyes peeled for him. He went this direction. A nice buck coming from the south. So I was up on this ridge and I saw a deer coming from the way I was going. Right away I could see it was a buck. Had good antlers on his head, and I was able to get the crosshairs on and touch off, and he went down. So I'm going to start my way down to him. I was up on top of the ridge there. I've come about 50 yards. It looks like I have about another 70, 80 yards or meters to go. So I guess he was about 130 meters, making his way down through here. Maybe a little farther than that. So he is down. There he is. He's a Michigan 8-point, or what they call a 4x4 out west. Woohoo for me. Now the bad part is, now I have to drag him up over those ridges that I've been walking on. Alright, got to get my tag punched out and get him field dressed and start the long drag out of here. I'll see if I can get a hold of my brother to help me. I won't be running the camera as much during the drag out of here. So if I do wrap the video up with this, I just want to say thanks for joining me on this little adventure. Hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you on the next one.